so not much grosses me out. But if you have a squeamish stomach, bear with me, and we will get through this. The tapeworm is a parasite that enters the body via the digestive tract. It feeds, reproduces, and grows there for as long as it possibly can, while the host has no idea that it's even there. A tapeworm can grow up to 50 feet in length, causing many problems and can sometimes cause death. According to a study at Baylor College in Houston, Texas, there are more than 1,000 cases of tapeworm reported every year. After viewing Dr. Oz's segment on the Oprah Winfrey Show and him actually showing a woman who had a 20-foot tapeworm inside of her, I became fascinated. While I was doing my research, I also learned that my brother had a tapeworm when he was 6. First, I'm going to tell you how you can get a tapeworm. Second, I'm going to tell you the signs and symptoms of a tapeworm after you obtain it. And third and finally, I'm going to tell you how to diagnose a tapeworm and the preventative measures and treatments after obtaining a tapeworm. Did you know that you can get a tapeworm from your pets? Yes, your pets. If your pet has fleas and a flea has a tapeworm and you kiss it and accidentally ingest that flea, you then have a tapeworm. This is mostly for the kids because they kiss and love on their pets all the time. And we do too as adults, but you have to be really careful of that, especially if they have fleas. Another way that you can obtain a tapeworm is drinking contaminated water with their eggs or lava. Third, the most common way that you can get a tapeworm is not by washing your hands. And that's mostly how children obtain tapeworms. You also can get a tapeworm by not washing your hands after using the bathroom, which means that people that work in restaurants, if they have tapeworms and they don't wash their hands and go back cooking, and they ingest what the people that they're feeding ingest a tapeworm, you too have a tapeworm. Well, they have a tapeworm. Speaking of cooking, you can obtain a tapeworm through uncooked foods, which is pork, beef, and fish. So we want to cook our foods so that they are cooked thoroughly. Tapeworms are strong enough to actually bypass your immune system and your digestive juices, which your digestive juices are pretty strong. It uses its hooks to burrow itself into your small intestines and eating away your nutrients, everything that you eat, for energy and growth yourself. The tapeworm steals. It has a male and female part, and it kind of looks like a ribbon if you go to the bathroom and see, excuse me, but a kind of a thin white piece of ribbon looking thing. You might have a tapeworm. But back to the reproductive organs. It has the male and the female reproductive organs, so it can produce inside its host and make other tapeworms. Dr. Misner states that there are 750 cases of parasites that migrate to the brain and the eyes, causing blindness and brain damage every year. 750 cases. Your signs and symptoms, if you think that you may have a tapeworm or someone else that you love may have a tapeworm, the signs and symptoms are going to be abdominal pain, diarrhea, constipation, constipation, malnutrition, because remember, they're sucking up all of your nutrients. Muscle weakness, you're not going to have the energy to do the things you usually do because they're sucking up all of your nutrients. You may have seizures, neurological damage, and weight loss with increased appetite. Weight loss because, again, they're sucking up all of your nutrients, but you lose weight. So you eat more, but you lose weight. Sounds good. Kind of. I've discussed how you can obtain the tapeworm and the signs of symptoms. I'm now going to go into how you diagnose and treat tapeworm. To diagnose a tapeworm, you may need blood work, an antibody test. You can also diagnose a tapeworm, a cyst tapeworm actually, with an MRI. Also, like I stated earlier, you can diagnose a tapeworm through feces. Your treatment for a tapeworm is going to be PO medication, which is medication by mouth. If it's just in the intestines, the usual medication that you take is called quinacrine hydrochloride. If it's outside of the intestines, which is kind of what I discussed earlier, with it going into the brain and the eyes and on its way, you're going to need to take 2 medications. Today I have discussed what a tapeworm is, how you obtain it, the signs and symptoms, the treatment. I'm now going to go into preventative measures. To prevent a tapeworm, the easiest and most simple way that you can prevent a tapeworm is hand washing. Wash your hands, especially before you eat. A closer look. Well, first, okay, I just told you what was most important, is washing your hands, the prevention. The prevention is the key thing. Also remember that if one person in your family has tapeworms, all of you need to be treated. Because if you treat just one person, it's still in the house. Also, prevention for your pets would be frequent flea baths and spa treatments. You also want to deworm your puppies and kittens up to age 12 weeks. After 12 weeks, you're going to want to have them treated or checked a couple of times a year. You may want to cover your sandboxes. And again, good hand washing. Now, in closing, as I stated earlier, I want you to remember the preventative measures. Fully cook your meats, wash your hands, deworm your pets, and give them frequent flea baths. And if one member in the family has it, remember, you all have to be treated. Thank you.